Hey everyone, welcome to the archive. My name is Jason, the archivist adrift, and I just wanted to make a short video here discussing a couple of things in relation to my channel that happened recently. One thing that's kind of a bummer. The other thing is really great. So I'll start with the bad news first, I guess. A while back, I did some conservation for Johnny at Johnny's Comic Stuff. It was a Golden Age Superman comic that he had, and the project really fell apart because I lost a lot of color on the cover, and I was really kind of distraught about that, and so really kind of limited taking in new work for friends and things like that. But of course, I wanted to finish the project, which I did, and then I also wanted to like kind of make up for it by finding another book from the same era and repairing that and also sending that to him as well. And so the second book came out a lot better than the first one. I was able to find a Superman comic, famous barbershop comic, and I was able to get it pretty cheap off of my comic shop because it was riddled with mold. I think I got it for around, I don't know, like 150 or maybe less, maybe around $100 or something like that. Well, Johnny sent both books to CGC to get them graded, and they both came back restored.
All right, next one up, Purple Label. I was hoping for conserved on these. Jason from Marcus Adrift did some work on these, but they also they did have some stuff that he didn't do to them. So Superman number 54, 1948. Again, wasn't so worried about the grade. This is probably like a 3.0. 3.5. This is the one he was really upset about. You know, the color had some color loss on it. Not a big deal at all. It does say restoration includes tear seals to cover and interior reinforced, cover clean, interior lightened, and staples replaced. So staples replaced will usually get you conserved if they're from the same era, and I know he did use the same era staples. Again, everything he does is reversible, which makes it conservation. Maybe they're doing something with the cover and the interior reinforced, but it does say all this stuff, and not a big deal. Like I said, this is a PC book. I'm going to keep this book, so I'm not really concerned about the Purple Label. All right, looks like the other one. This one was the one he gave me because he had the color loss issue on the other one, which he did not have to do. This is Superman 38. Also got the Purple Label. Great cover where the barber's trying to cut Superman's hair and he can't. But again, got some restoration. This was a pretty nice book, and for a free book, I'm not going to complain at all. Oh wow, 5.5 in white pages. That's it's hard to get white pages on these books, so that's pretty awesome from a book that's 80-ish years old. Pieces added, tear seals. So that's kind of odd that they put pieces added, because he leaf casts, which isn't really adding pieces. It's leaf casting. It's different. Again, I'm not really stressed out about that. I don't care about the Purple Label. Just a cool book, and you know, like I said, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. You did not have to do that.
What really sucks is, as Johnny pointed out, the restoration notes don't really make any sense. On the first book, I did replace the staples, but I replaced them with a book, a DC book from the same year, actually, or maybe it was like 1 year later or something like that. You know, I had to source one off of eBay, and so I don't know what happened there. I don't know if DC maybe used different types of staples for different books, or if maybe the grader misidentified the staples that were installed. I know that the staples I used were original because they came from a coverless book, and I don't see anyone replacing staples on a book that was a coverless, like, funny animal book. So that really bummed me out. The grade, actually a little bit better than I was expecting, but getting it restored, that really sucks. And the other book, man, that really bums me out. They mentioned parts added. No parts were added. It's just leaf casting, and not even a whole lot of leaf casting. I think it was mostly around the staple areas. I have friends who've experienced this, fellow conservators who've experienced this exact same note on their books, and typically they have to contact CGC, and they used to realize their fault, have you send in the book, on your penny, on your dime for shipping, but then they would go ahead and take care of it themselves. They wouldn't charge you to regrade. But as I understand it now, they do recharge to get they do charge again to regrade, which really bites. Um, I am thrilled that I took this moldy book that was zero point 0.5 or something like that because of the mold. Um, it was the cover was detached. It was a mess, and I got it to a 5.5, which should be a 5.5 conserved. So that $100 book or $150 book or whatever should be worth quite a bit more now, I imagine. Um, how my fellow conservators usually deal with this is that when they contact CGC, they send in like a note listing all the changes that they made to the books. And I typically do that with my own books. I mean, I don't typically send in to CGC very often, but when I do, I send in notes with my books. But I've never given notes to friends whose books I've worked on. So I told Johnny that I would, type up some notes and send those to him so that if he wanted to, he could go ahead and have the books regraded, get them from a restored to a conserved label that they ought to be in. But he really wasn't interested in that. One of the books he traded for some other items that he really wanted, and that's perfectly fine with me. That these are his books, so that's great. I'm glad that he got some value out of that. And then one of the other books, he just wants to keep it in his personal collection, and he just isn't really that interested in getting the label swapped. And for the price of regrading, I honestly don't blame him. But it is really, really disappointing to me that this has happened. This is like the second time this has happened to me. It's happened to me once before with Mike's book, one of Mike's books, the Tomb of Terror that I conserved for him. When he sent that in, CGC said that some of the internal pages were trimmed, which I'm kind of thinking maybe that might not have been true. Maybe it was another situation where they didn't understand the full conservation that was taking place. So this is 3 books that I've worked on that came back restored. And all 3 of them are books that I didn't personally send in, friends of mine sent in. And it really hurts, your ego, and, you spend so much time working on these things. Man, it sucks, but, I know that, my friends who've experienced it, it really bums them out too, and, it's more of an art than a science when it comes to the grading process. They're doing the best that they can, and I understand that. But it sucks. So I mentioned this to Johnny before. Again, if he ever wants notes for the book that's still in his personal collection, just reach out to me, and I'll type something up. I am going to type up some notes for the book that I worked on for Rich and for Mike as well. So that's pretty much the bummer news. Kind of really sucks, but I have great news. So the Comic Book Community Awards are going on right now, and Brian announced the finalists for all the categories on Saturday. And I actually made it to the finals for a couple of the categories, which I totally blew me away, especially one I just kind of threw my hat into randomly. It was for best reel or short form video. And I just, I was trying to fill out all the categories for people I wanted to, see nominated. So when I got to the shorts category, I was like, I don't really know anyone who does that. But I was like, well, wait a second, I make shorts. So I went ahead and just threw my name in there, not expecting anything at all, just whatever, And man, I got in, so that's amazing. Totally did not expect that. And then I did nominate Professor Peter Alachi for the comic book cleaning and pressing. And he got in there, which is great. He's a finalist, but I am as well. So I just want to thank everyone who rooted for me and who put my name in that bucket as well. Everyone in that category is wonderful. All their channels are great. Dr. Paul's in there. Matt from Impress Comics is in there. A lot of great channels. I'm super happy to have just made it this far. That was my goal last year. All I wanted to do was make it to the finals, and just that's it. I mean, if I make it further, that's great. But if I don't go any further than this, that'd be great. I'm excited for any channel that wins this because I love all those other channels. So anyhow, again, I just want to thank you all, and that's my great news. I will hopefully have a video out this week with the books I worked on for Mike, and then I'll be on to the next project. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye now.